Those bosses are the new thing, and it's so playing it is awesome once you get there, but getting there sucks dick. Like, why everything has to have layers of sucking dick to get to the good part? It is like, here, you have Ana de Armas. You can fuck Ana de Armas. But before you fuck Ana de Armas, you have to suck these 4 guys' dick. So guys, I have this video here from Gassy TV that is called Path of Exile 2 is the best it's ever been so far, 0.3 first impressions. And of course, I want to watch this because I love videos like this. And I also agree with this, that this is the best that Path of Exile 2 has ever been. The league mechanic, the Abyssal, is awesome. There is now crafting. We have actual crafting in the game. That is also really cool. Are there still problems? Yes, there are. The towers still suck. The performance suck. Balance, but balance can be fixed later. But the game itself, the base game, is insane. But let's see what Gassy has to say in here, dude.
Here with another Path of Exile 2 video, and I have just now been live for 46 hours and 20 minutes, and I've slept 3 hours during that time, so I pulled.
What the fuck? This had to be at lunch, so he went 40 hours with only 3 hours of sleep. That is insane, dude.
Just if I'm a little tired, if you like these videos, I appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe for more content. Anyways, I'm gonna crack in with the video, get rid of all this YouTube bullshit intro stuff. Patch 0.3 Path of Exile 2. There's been a lot of crash outs. I've seen that from highlights and whatnot. People have been complaining. They're not doing well. Oh, it's bad. This is bad. This is terrible.
People are always going to complain in League starts in Path of Exile 2 because Path of Exile 2 is a game that forces you at the start of the game to be slow, to find gear because the gear sucks and everything sucks. Like, they designed the game that when the League starts, your first playthrough, you have to struggle. They want that to happen. So every league launch, people are going to complain. Every single one. It happened in 0.2, it happened in 0.1, and it is again happening in 0.3. But now that people are understanding more stuff and already leveled up and are there, now people are more chilling. But at the start, like the first couple of days, people always complain. And well, this time around, with people complaining, then we have the reaction to the complaining, and we had the whole tourist thing that was, in my opinion, it was awesome. It is content, it is funny drama, so hey, let's go.
Shit, unless you're playing a Deadeye or you're playing Minions, it seems like everybody's just dooming and glooming everywhere. It's like literally being on Reddit 24/7, 365 days a year. It's always on fire. Either way, here's my take on 0.3. I firmly believe that 0.3 puts Path of Exile in a state that it is the best it's ever been. Now, there's a lot of issues still. Tons of issues. I will be making a separate video covering my experiences with Minions specifically, where I'm going to deep dive more generic and more detailed stuff when it comes to Minions.
Nobody cares about Minions, brother.
But I'll say...
Well, I guess they do. 138k subs. I guess 138 people care about Minions. Brother, Minions suck dick.
This in this video. There's a lot of issues still there. Not that many. I actually took some time to come up with a handful of negative things that I provided feedback to them with. But in the end, one of the biggest things that I felt from a Minion perspective, at least in the early stages, was everything just felt better. I felt that the loot was good and sustainable. I felt that my progression was good and sustainable. And right off the gate, I felt like I was actually doing well. I was playing Minions, obviously. In the past, we've been forced to play SS Strain Contagion and then switch to Minions properly or slowly up until Act 3, then play Minions from there. But again, I'll talk about it generically and then move on from the Minion topic. However, in 0.3...
Yeah, I am here to hear about the game, not fucking Minions.
As I walked out at first,
I am just joking around.
Down from level 2, I played Contagion and Unearth, and I was already, feeling, because as soon as I hit level 3, I was running with Skeletal Archers in the background. Now with Skeletal Archers, they're doing actually pretty well at this point. And then once you get the skill levels up to where they start scaling from the changes they did in the skill tree, the patch notes, it felt fantastic. I have never enjoyed Minion gameplay leveling as much as I did with the launch of 0.3. So
okay, so for him, this league is awesome because he's a Minion Andy, and Minions are good this season. So probably if Minions suck this time around, he wouldn't like it as much. I don't know. That is why I am talking more about the base game. I think the game is awesome. It doesn't matter the build, right? Well, it matters. Some builds makes it easier, some builds make it harder. But the game is awesome, dude.
Such an incredible feeling. And I think a lot of people can agree. And the big difference between POE 1 and POE 2 is that in POE 1, you start with fewer minions, and as you progress further into the game, you then start to get to the point where you are a commander of an army. Now you are a true summoner, and that kind of vibe and feel to it. POE 2 flips this. As soon as you start operating with minions, you are immediately in charge of a lot of minions. You are immediately becoming this unit of a commander that commands your army of minions, and that feeling is really...
Do I need to play minions one time, brother? Do I need to make a minions build to know what is happening? Because I have to be honest, I saw that build that Pox is playing, that it is, I don't know if it is a minion, it is a companion, a beast, or a specter, or whatever the fuck. But he has a fucking Triceratops that when he summons the Triceratops and he falls down, he wants everything that it has around. It is a crazy fucking build. I don't know if you can categorize that as a minion build, but he's doing his damage through the big Triceratops.
Good, and I think a lot of casual players appreciates that even more than I do, and that's something that you get straight out the gate from POE 2, and I think that's really cool. And now that you're able to level with it, it really excels that feeling and the vibe from it. It's been such a marvelous experience. But anyways, there's been a lot of things, obviously, in the game right now. There's the asynchronous trade available. So far, fantastic. Obviously, sniping is the only big downside, I feel like, with this. I did want to...
This is the best thing about the league, by the way, and it is awesome because it is here forever. I am hoping, I am praying to God, really, that we get this trading system in POE 1 for 327. Because they said we are going to test it in POE 2, we are going to see how it goes, and then we will take it to POE 1. But that can take some time. Maybe it doesn't come for 327, right? 327 is only like 1 month and a half away. I want it to be in 327 because now that I know that this exists, I can never go back to this not existing, dude. You know, this is awesome. This is the best thing in the game right now. This also helps you with crafting because with crafting you need bases and bullshit. You just trade quickly, boom, boom, boom. You don't care about anything. You craft, you do your shit. Like, this is awesome. You can take this away from me. Never you can take this away from me, ever. In fact, put it in POE 1 for 327. So that I can also use this shit in 327.
To try it out just for fun. So I have taken it out now. I had a live search on Bones of Ulur, where the reservation applies to specters, for those of you who don't know. And it makes Bones of Ulur a very popular item for basically every minion build. So they're very expensive. Very, very expensive. So I said, you know what? I'll try to do a snipe. So I did a search for snipe. It pinged. I clicked teleport. And, well, then I spent the next 8 minutes in a loading screen, and then the game kicked me out. So that's what happened.
Pepper Toys, you mad.
Pepper Toys, thanks so much for the gifts, man.
Thanks for the subs.
So one of the things when it comes to that is obviously there will be sniping bots. So sniping is something you cannot do unless you're going to be, setting up scripts for it, which is against TOS. So I think that's the only downside, and one of the downsides I've noticed when it comes to the trade experience. People still do use normal trade. Like, let me do a search on Ambulance, for example. So this guy here does not have it up for sale in the merchant tab. So I could reach out to this guy and barter with him. And it was kind of nice. You can choose to do so if you want to, or you can literally just change.
It's cool that you have the option to do it. But I have not ever done it once because it is too, like, brother, just clicking the thing, taking the item. Like, what the fuck would I waste time? I just want to do it as fast as I can, and getting the instant buyout is the best thing ever.
This to have but I only want the instant buyout. But I like to have instant buyout and in trades when I'm searching. I'm actually able to communicate with them if I see someone having it up, and maybe barter with them if they're willing to do so, because you can't barter with the guys that are putting in the tab. And people buying items, I saw people coming into my hideouts, and when I was there, they bought an item. I heard the ping, a notification, I got money, and the guy fucked off. It was so comfortable. I really like this. It's gonna be fun to see how the economy develops and evolves with this in mind when it comes to inflation and whatnot. Another topic is the crafts from the Abyss League. I think the Abyss League crafting
is insane.
Actually really cool. I'm not going to go into detail of how to do it. Like, this is not going to be a guide for that. It's mostly my experiences with this patch as of the launch. And it feels really good because now it's like you craft an item with 2 modifiers. You use an essence to get a 3rd modifier. You can then slam, or you can start utilizing the desecrate, as it's called, where you can desecrate an item such as these. This one would desecrate a rare weapon. Well, that's a waste of them. But this one here would...
Like, it is still hard, and you have to still use expensive omens if you want to go tier 1 on 6 different mobs and you need the specific mods. But if you only want like tier 2, tier 3, and you only want 4 to 5 mods, that is easy to accomplish, pretty deterministically. So crafting is insane right now. I like it a lot.
Desecrate the rare amulet, the ring or belt. And what it would do is that it would straight up just add an unveiled modifier for those of you who are familiar with POE 1 lingo, as you can see here. And if the modifiers on the item is full, so a rare item can have 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes, it would then randomly remove one to apply this veiled mod. But if the item is not full, this mod just adds that veiled mod onto the item. So you could craft a 5 modified item, then put this on, and then go to the well to unveil it, which gives you a choice of 1 modifier out of 3 options. And then there's omens for this, which are very common, which I'm very happy for it, and they're not very expensive either. I think they're like 15x or something right now. This allows us to re-roll that option once. So if you didn't like the first 3 options you get to pick between, you can re-roll to get 3 new ones, or same if you're really unlucky. And I really like that process. And there's some other omen that allows you to target specifically the veiled modifier on an orb of annulment. They were like 34.
Exactly. The veil, the desecrated modifier is deterministic, because even if you have to do it several times, like use the... First of all, you have the Abyssal Echoes that he's showing in here that gives you 2 tries, right? 6 modifiers, 2 tries. But you can use the Omen of Light or something like that and use an Orb of Annulment to delete the desecrated modifier specifically. So you can reroll again twice. So yes, it involves a little bit of luck, how many times you have to do this, and it's expensive process. But you can achieve your goal deterministically if you do it enough tries, you know, which is awesome. You can also use, if you need a prefix or a suffix, you use the other omen that makes the desecrated suffix or prefix. Like, getting the desecrated mod that you want is deterministic as fuck, and that is cool.
40x or something. But there's a lot of room for us to craft more with this, and that made me more excited to do crafting, like especially with essences. For example, I did a lot of greater essence of bodycraft, where I would craft 2 modifiers on blue items, and then I would put an essence to guarantee a life mod. And now I had a 3 modded item. All I had to do was slam it twice and then put the desecrated mod. It just felt really, really comfortable to do so. But again, I'm not going to do a guide on how to do this craft. There's a lot more to it. But I had a lot of fun crafting with the Abbey stuff. I got some pretty cool stuff, like the helmet I'm wearing right now is a +2. I had a really good time with this. The body armor, the shield as well. The shield with focus. This ring was the last thing I crafted, which turned out really fucking well, I'll tell you that.
In fact, it is so deterministic that I am worried that when this content goes core, they change it a little bit so that it is not so deterministic, you know, because it helps a lot.
That much. Decent life on it. Got a chaos res, double res with a fire res implicit, and a good life on it. I mean, it just felt really good to craft with. And I know that that's one of the hot topics of Path of Exile 2, where crafting is lacking. And I feel like the obviously craft mechanics actually felt really good. One thing when it comes to the actual gameplay, though, I really like the Abyss mechanic way more in PoE 2 than I do in PoE 1, and I'm a big Abyss fan. It felt really.
It is insane when you see the monsters coming out of the hole. It looks really cool. Like the monsters are not just spawning. You see how they are crawling out of the hole. It is insane, dude. And the cool thing, the monsters are hard, let's be honest. But it is cool because they are rewarding. We are not in the 0.2 situation when we got as meaty wisps, and they are not hard, but they are also not rewarding, and nobody cares about them. But the abyssal bullshit is rewarding, so we like them, you know.
Comfortable. I was very enjoyable to engage with, and the challenge to it, they were definitely harder than before. So I've been doing some weird things where I've been focusing my Atlas tree on exiles, because if the exile spawns near the abyss, then they also get this big juicy version when they die that pops out. So I've been having a lot of fun. The rewards feels really good for it as well. Been having tons of fun with this. I can't really stress how much fun I've been having. Another cool thing, I haven't used it too much, is if you click on the bottom left button here, you can click on market panel, and you can actually do, for example, search for bonus of Ullr and search for those in-game and use the trade browser in-game. Obviously, this is for the travel to hideout mechanic, not to barter that I've seen at least. But I still use the website for now, but this is a really neat system allowing to have everything in the game itself. Outside of that, we have just recently posted a full-blown guide for the Infernalist minion leveling, and I'm currently operating in endgame, where I'm going to try to figure out how we're going to set up the guide for the endgame version of the Spectre build for Infernalist. And once I'm done with that, I'll probably try some Storm Mages and whatnot, and a few other things. But one of the biggest downside I had was that the Act 4, I am unable to, well, we thought we were unable to. I'll talk about
Act 4 is cool. Everybody loves Act 4. Some people know it is too long. I do think it's a little bit long, but it is also part of, it is the first time we play it. We will figure out better ways of, like, the optimal way of what is the best island to visit first. how to traverse the map fast, and all of that. People will figure this shit out quickly. For next league, it will be like a walk in the park doing Act 4.
About this in detail in the next video, but essentially we were unable to make specters out of the vast majority, like 95-99% of the monsters from Act 4, including the interludes. So that kind of like set us to this position where we have similar spectre meta as last league, which is the Vault Guards, and not everyone has a computer that can handle that because they're pretty pressing. They're very, very, very shiny and spreads. So basically what I'm trying to say, they put cancer in your eye sockets, whether you want it or not. Okay, you can't see shit. That's what they do. And but there's some.
You can see shit without minions either, brother. Like, the game is in a way that you don't see the grounds. If there is something exploding under you, you never know until you are dead.
There's a few other out there. I'll talk about that in the next video. But other than that, I genuinely had a ton of fun with Act 4. It was extremely well made. It was very enjoyable. I had a free choice of where I was going. And I'm not a lore guy when I play RPGs, but I genuinely enjoyed it. The boss fights were really cool, especially the underground zone, or the lowest floor in the solitary confinement zone of the prison with the whole.
Brother, everyone says that that song is their favorite one. I said it, a lot of people, like, everyone like the prison song, because yes, it is insane. It is really good. Yeah, you did it. You did an amazing job with the prison song. Everybody loves it because of something really cool that is there. I don't want to really spoiling, but there in the prison zone, the zone itself and the boss have different mechanics that only happen there, and that makes it really cool.
Water washing in and out. It was
You guys are making me
beautiful.
rich, or at least making sure I have enough emotes to spam.
Thanks so much for sub, man. Appreciate it. I just feel like everything felt so cool. And then once I was done with it, we got to introduce to the interludes, which is something that they're going to take away when they introduce the next act. That's what Jonathan's been saying. So we got 3 like mini stories, if you will, to bridge the gap between Act 4 and endgame levels, which was pretty nice as well. And all of these bosses and mechanics are available in the endgame. Now, I feel like I've been glazing and just talking well about the game.
10 years from now, we will say, like how POE 1 players tell us right now, hey, I was there when POE 1 was only Act 1. Now we will be able to tell to people, hey, I was there when POE 2, you had the interludes. You don't even remember the interludes. You don't know what the interludes are. You are a noob. I was there when we played the interludes.
There's a few issues and whatnot. I will still stand by the statement that I believe the Path of Exile 2 currently is the best it's ever been. It's been crazy cool. So a little bit negative stuff. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff, the minions, I'll cover them later. The endgame hasn't really changed. There's some cool stuff like this. This is a new area called the Mansion in the Mist. And it says
it is a pain in the ass accessing them. Just let us access the bullshit. Why don't you just let us access the bullshit? Why do I have to do all this extra, like, no, collect bullshit around the map? I don't want to do that. We are telling you that we don't want you to force us to do bullshit maps, and you introduce a mechanic where I am forced to do bullshit maps. What the fuck, man? Just let me access the fucking map, dude.
That we have to find and activate a set of nearby, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, hedgestones in maps to purge the evil surrounding this mansion so you can gain access. And this one has a clear indicator with some, I don't even know what that is, flowers, bats, butterflies, shiny.
And that can bug, by the way. I clear all the maps with that shit and click the bullshit, and then the bullshit went to the same map that I am trying to access without giving me access to the map, so it completely bugged out. Brother, what are you doing, man?
Shiny shit, I don't know, blue cocaine or something. So we have to do this map, and we have to then unlock a set of these. And once you've done enough of these around it, which is usually just a handful, 2, 3, 4 or something, then you gain access to this map. You can run the Mansion in the Mist, which is a new map that you can do with a big new cool boss. And these things are bosses we see in the campaign, that in the Act 4, for example, or the interludes as well. So that's pretty cool. And I saw some other one over here. I did a couple maps around it, but I never saw the temporal tethers. I need to find 3 of them apparently. But these map, I didn't find them in there, so I'm not sure if I missed it. So I never got to experience these things. So this is kind of like one of the main new things, if you will, to the end game. But also, the towers remains an issue where you're going to want to, for higher juicing, where you're going to want to try to find areas with 2
exactly.
towers.
Those bosses are the new thing, and it's so playing it is awesome once you get there. But getting there sucks dick. Like, why everything has to have layers of sucking dick to get to the good part? No, brother. It is like here. You have Ana de Armas. You can fuck Ana de Armas. But before you fuck Ana de Armas, you have to suck these 4 guys' dicks. You suck these 4 dicks, and then you get to fuck another armas. Motherfucker, I don't know if I want to do that, dude. But that is what is happening here in the endgame in Path of Exile.
Connected together to giga juice the maps in between, or even 3 towers if you want to giga juice your maps as well. So that problem still remains. The endgame feels like I'm just walking around trying to find these corrupted zones so that I can make sure that I get the my Atlas points and doing the unique maps if I already done this one, but to get my Atlas passives. So the entire endgame kind of still feels a little hollow, if you will. There's not much change. I think that a lot of people might find themselves get a bit bored with the replayability of the endgame, unless you are a POE veteran or a big fan of the game franchise. For me, I'm going to enjoy the living fuck out of this, but I definitely can see how it still feels a bit hollow with these things in mind. This was cool the first couple of times, but now it's like I look at this and I'm like, okay, I have to find 3 tethers.
It is annoying as fuck. It is annoying as fuck.
Did all of these maps here nearby, didn't find a single one. I'm gonna be honest, I already moved on. I'm down here now. I said, fuck this, I'm just gonna get my Atlas skill points instead. I'll figure this out later.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure how they're gonna fix the hollowness feel of the Atlas progression, but I definitely wanted to bring that up in this video. Other than that, balance related stuff is obviously one of the biggest problems, and I think that they did a good job with buffing for the most part. Warriors feels really down bad. Minions feels fantastic. The lightning is still going to be the meta. Now people are doing it with Deadeye, and it's just absolutely beyond.
That is another thing that people have been saying. That yes, the strongest classes in the 3 leagues have been different. Like 0.1 was the Stormweaver Spark. 0.2 was Amazon Lightning Spear. And 0.3 is the die Lightning Arrow. The 3 abilities, Lightning. Lightning is always the bullshit. Like, I want to play Wind. I want to play fucking Poison. I don't know. Why Lightning is always the bullshit, dude? People say that it is because of Shock. And yes, Shock is one of the points. But it is not the only thing. It is also the nodes in the tree, the skills themselves. There is a lot of things that is benefiting Lightning beyond only Shock.
Insane, and I can't wait for the day where, you know, the Ranger dexterity side of the world here in Ray class is going to take a beating and get sit down in the gutter whilst the other classes get to shine for a bit, because it's been a little bit.
Next league, when the Druid drops in 0.4, we are going to get the Druid in the left top of the tree, right? They are going to improve that tree. They are going to nerf this one, and we are all going fucking Druid. Let's go!
Bit annoying going from, we actually did have Spark from previous season, but we've had Lightning Spear and the whole Monk with the shattered shit, and then now we have the Deadeye with the lightning stuff, and I'm like, okay, something is going wrong, because they're missing the point on how to bring that down to be within a reasonable scaling. Obviously, it's happening on over and over. Again, I'm nitpicking a little bit with the feedback and the criticism here, but I wanted to bring up some negative stuff in this video as well, to not just sit there and glaze them, because I genuinely, I'm at borderline starstruck with how good it feels for minions, and I'm obviously very biased towards that.
The game feels good even if you don't play minions, dude. Like, I am playing a Ritual is bleeding and I am feeling really cool. The game is really good. The progression in the end game also feels... I know that the end game still sucks. We have been talking about that in this video. It still sucks and it will probably be improved in next patch. But it still feels better than ever. Like, I am almost done with my Atlas. I have 40 out of 40 points, but I am completing the other little trees, you know. And I am... Maybe it is because I have more experience than before, but I don't think so. I think that the progression is better and faster this time around. For sure, I think that. So, the endgame even feels a little bit better, even if it is still bullshit.
Anyway, that has been my experience from the start. I'm very excited to continue progressing this and get the build guys up and ready. And obviously, I'm working on the Spectre build right now. I did talk to Jonathan about the Spectres in Act 4 and Interludes. And
imagine having a direct way to talk with Jonathan, brother. I want that. Hire me already, and then we will talk every day, because he will be like yelling at me every day for being stupid.
That they didn't have time to balance them to be Spectres, and as a result, they cut them to not be Spectrable. He also told me that they will patch this in later. Now, if later means in a few days, a week, 2-3 weeks, or next season, I don't know. But more on that once I have more to share. I'll let you guys know, of course. But anyways, I want to wrap this video up so I can rant about minions in the next video. Hope you guys like this video. Let me know what you guys think of the season so far and your experiences, because some people are a disaster experience from the start playing something that is not working, and other people are having a fantastic experience just walking through the world, having the time of their life, and that's where I'm at, and that's why I feel a bit biased. But let me know what you guys think, and hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and all that jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, stay safe and keep rocking.
Hey, that was a nice one, Gassy. Thank you so much for the video, dude. And yes, I agree with him mostly on everything. I don't give a fuck about Minions, but I do agree that this is the best season so far for Path of Exile 2. And yes, it has a bunch of bullshit in it. We have talked about it extensively and probably will keep doing it. But it is still a pretty good one, and I can only, since it is getting better and better, I can only think that 0.4, 0.5, 1.0, it will be better, and this game will be the best ARPG ever. It is a fucking masterpiece, dude.